Hi there everyone, welcome to Pour Painting with Ron. I hope you've been really well since the last time we saw each other. So, what are we going to be doing today? Well, I was a little bit inspired by two things actually that helped me decide what sort of painting I was going to do today. Firstly, I came across a new hairdryer that I thought would work really well in Dutch pour paintings. Now, I've had all sorts of trouble with Dutch pour paintings, either having blow dryers that didn't blow hard enough or ones that were too big and just blew paint everywhere. I wanted something in between that wasn't super duper powerful, that I had a little bit more control of when spreading paint over the canvas. And I found one at the shaver shop the other day. On sale too, for half price, only $19. Itsy bitsy little travel blow dryer. It's got a nice small head to it, so you've got a lot more control blowing paint across the canvas in the direction you want, and it's not so strong that it blows all the paint away. So we'll give it a go for the first time today, see what happens. Hopefully it works. So obviously we're going to be doing a Dutch pour painting today, and I thought something I haven't tried before was doing like a wave. I've seen other people on YouTube do waves before with a blow dryer, and I thought, well, why not give it a go? Now, the second thing that inspired me this week was, well, it's Pride Month, so I thought, why not? I'll do a rainbow wave using the Pride colours. Now, a little bit dangerous using all the primary colours together in a painting, because I may end up with a mud. You know what happens when you mix them all together, you get brown. We did it in primary school. So my goal is not to get brown today, but to keep all of the colours happening the way they should. Now, what brand am I going to use today of paint? Oh, before I do, I'll show you my canvas. This canvas that I'm using today is a big one, 50 by 60 centimetre thin edge canvas, and just like I usually do, I've taped off the back with painter's tape and put in some giant push pins just to keep it off the surface of the table. And I've made sure it's level as well. Last thing you want is paint sliding off while it's drying. Okay, back to the paints. Now, the brand I like using for my Dutch pours is Amsterdam paint. And they work really well spread out. They're really nice quality paint, and you can actually thin them out with water. Some other brands, put too much water with them and you break the bonds and they do horrible things. But I found with Amsterdam paint, you can thin them out to the right consistency just using water for a Dutch pour. And I'll show you the consistency in a bit. Now, my background color is going to be white. I'll just use it in the negative space. I won't use it underneath the other colours today. And then, of course, I'm using the rainbow colours. So I've got Naphthol Red Deep and some, what's this one, Primary Cyan. And I've used another blue just to vary things up a little bit, Turquoise Blue. And then I've got their Primary Yellow and Brilliant Green. We'll see if we don't get mud with that one. Azo Orange. And then I've got two other brands of, another brand of paint that I'm using just because I didn't have the colours in Amsterdam, and that's purple. I didn't have a purple Amsterdam. So I'm using Araldo metallic paint today, and this is their metallic lavender colour, a nice light purple colour. And I'm also using one of their metallic blue colours, metallic cyan. A bit of metallic in a Dutch pour always looks interesting. I don't use these a lot. They tend not to spread out really well and do weird things. I don't know what it is with their quality, but we'll see how it works in this Dutch pour painting today. I think that's all I had to say for the intro. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, we're back. Hopefully you can see that okay. It's rather a large canvas to try to fit in the frame, and because of the angle of the camera, it's got a bizarre shape. But believe me, it's still a rectangle, and I'll show you the finished result at a better angle when when we're all done. One colour I forgot to mention that I'm using today is gold. It's a Raldo as well, a rich gold colour. And I'm going to just spread that around the entire painting just to tie everything together. Now I said I was going to show you the consistency we're using today. I'll just get one of the normal colours that I'm using. Now it's not water thin we're going for, but it's pretty thin. When I pour it off the spoon, I'm not going to get any mound of paint at all left behind. You want it thin enough that you can blow it easily around your canvas with a blow dryer. Now the white I had trouble with, it had lumps in it, so I had to strain that through a pair of stockings, but hopefully it's going to be fine. Now this wave, I'm going to start fairly low down on the canvas of this side, and as I go to the other side, I'll sort of raise the height and then we'll go over into a sort of wave shape. That's the plan anyway. Now I didn't want too much white underneath all my other colours because then I risk blending the white in with the other colours. So I'll just sort of put the white in the general wave shape and keep it up to that side of the canvas and keep this other side empty. That's the theory anyway. Right, just get a bit of a mix, hopefully no lumps. We'll soon find out. Okay, so I do want to do the wave shape sort of like in that sort of direction. And maybe we'll have a little bit up here as well. I'll just keep a little bit just in case. I'll get my palette knife. I've got it here. And I'll just spread it out a bit and then I'll tilt it a bit. Now, because we're not tipping later, I don't want to be left with tons and tons of paint on the canvas. That has nowhere to go. So I will tip it off until I get a nice consistency or layer left on my canvas. Thereabouts. Okay. You get the general idea of what I'm doing. Lots of air bubbles, I know. I'll give it a blast with the torch in a little bit. It will level itself out when it dries. Okay, how are we going there? I'll just check my sides. I like having my sides covered. Just disappearing over here, fix up this corner. Let's pick up some paint. No point wasting it. No point wasting paint. So I think that's my general sort of wave shape that I'm going to be doing. Okay. Got white paint everywhere. Then I'll give it a blast with the torch before I put the other colours on. Now, story with this torch, I use these butane screw-on bottles, and every shop in Australia seems to be out of it, and they tell me they won't get more until July. So I'm trying not to waste it, because there's hardly any left in this bottle. There, that'll do. Okay, now the colours. I'm going to start with the darker purple and blues here and get up to the sort of yellows and reds and oranges further up. Now, pouring it on, I'm going to use too much all at once. So I'm not pouring it on, I'll just use a spoon. Takes a bit longer, but yeah, you can be a little bit more accurate with it. Rainbow most of the purple is at one end, so I'll just dribble some purple over the corner and the side. A little bit more there. Okay. I might use some more later. Now my blues. A little bit there. There. I don't want to overdo the paint, otherwise it has nowhere to go. Now I'll start blending in the other colours closer to the wave. Okay, and then the lighter blue. A little bit there, and there, a little bit there. Bit up there. Hopefully it'll look nice. That's the plan. I'll keep a little bit of every colour just in case. Now I've got the metallic blue, and I won't get carried away with this one. So it tends to make cells and stuff, and yeah, if you use too much, it'll just overtake everything. I can afford to put some near the edge because I'll blow most of that off. Okay. Oh, what colour's next? I think the green is next in the rainbow. This is sort of like the dangerous colour. And I'll start with a little bit of green down here. Just little bits. Don't know. Don't want heaps and heaps of green. Maybe just little dots here and there. Little dots here and there. And then yellow. I think yellow's next, and then orange, and then red. Yeah, that's how the rainbow goes. Well, that's how my rainbow is going to go anyway. So a bit of yellow. Okay, and then orange. Maybe a little bit of orange there. And then red. I might put a little bit of orange, a few drops. So, and then the gold. I was going to like drizzle a bit of gold down here. So, it's almost a shame to blow it out now, isn't it? It looks quite pretty as it is. I've got enough paint left to do another one. We'll see. All right. Now, the scary part, using the blow dryer. I'll put on full power, and it has a cool button down that I'll hold down so I don't cook my paint. Now, I don't have to do this quickly. I can think about what I'm doing. I may have to walk out of view around to the other side, disappear for a bit to do the top part of the wave. So we'll see. Okay. How's that looking so far? interesting, interesting. I'll just disappear around the other side. Okay, cool. You can see how the metallics, they create all these interesting sort of lacing, cell and lacing action. Cool. Now I do want to break up here a little bit by blowing with a straw perhaps, and bring this down a little bit further perhaps with a straw as well. So I'll just get a straw. Somewhere in my box of goodies. There we go. Make it look a bit more watery. Like so, maybe. Like so, maybe. Okay, I'll have to walk around again. You might see the back of my head. So my apologies in advance. Oh. Oopsie daisy. Sorry, fix the camera. So, fixed. Okay. Leave this out the road. Sorry, I don't have much room here. Cool. That sort of look like a wave, maybe a very abstract wave. Oh, cool. I think that turned out really nice. Okay, now I'll give it a bit of a torch. I'm almost out of gas in the torch. Bit of the metallics react really well with the Amsterdam paints, and we get sort of lots of interest happening here, lots of like glittery lacing cell action. The heat just helps to bring that out a little bit more, as well as air bubbles. So you can see why I was careful not to use heaps and heaps of paint on the canvas, because we're not tipping any off, it has nowhere to go. And you don't want big pools of paint left over. Okay, I'm just wondering about here whether I should blow that up a little bit more. Looks a little bit odd there, that little bit of white up there. We'll just see. It's a bit better, I think. Okay. Still want to keep a little bit of white up there, perhaps. Yeah, just a little bit of white. Okay, cool. Playing with it a little bit more, making it look a little bit wispier. But I think that's probably wispy enough. Maybe a little bit more up here. Try not to kick the camera this time. How's that? Cool. I think that's really nice. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I will just fix up my edges where the colour didn't pop down. Not very interesting for you to look at, so I won't show you that bit. And then I'll go around the bottom with my palette knife, scrape off any excess paint, and then I'll bring you in for a closer look. Okay, hopefully you can see that. I'll just bring you down. For some reason it doesn't look as blingy on the phone as it does in real life, but you'll hopefully get a good idea. You see the metallics there created lots of interesting effects in the paint. They've got lots of nice movement happening. And then we get to the sort of brighter colours. We go up the wave. And then we get the really bright top. See if you can see some of the gold there. And down here we get
sort of the purple metallics happening.
I think it turned out really nice. So what did you think of that one? I think it turned out really nice. The blow dryer was a success. If you're going to try that technique, please do. It's not super difficult. If you're going to try the technique, a few things you need to keep in mind. Don't put too much paint on the canvas because you'll just get a mess. It will have nowhere to go. Just enough to blow out your design. Make your paints nice and thin. If you're not using a super high quality paint like Amsterdam, you may need to use some Floetrol with your paint as well as water to prevent your paints from breaking up when you make them really thin. So thin paint, not too much on the canvas, and get a blow dryer that's not super powerful. So like the little travel blow dryer seems to work really well. If it's too enormous, you're going to have not much control and you'll end up blowing all the paint off your canvas. Not a good look. Anyway, hopefully my painting will dry really well, and I'm inspired to maybe try some other more rainbow things. You never know. We'll wait and see. Anyway, time for me to clean up now, and unfortunately time for you to go. But before you go, if you enjoyed what you saw today, please take a moment to press the like button. Helps my content get found in YouTube land. And if you'd like to see more of my content, please take a moment to subscribe and click the little notification bell. Well, I hope you have a really good week ahead. Hopefully I've inspired you to try something new, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. In the meantime, happy painting.